So this guy's name is Mjolnir's dad, and this guy's also a streamer, by the way, so I'll leave their channel linked down in the description below if you want to check that out. But basically, I seen a clip of this guy and he was doing some insane hammer cancel combos, and that is the reason why I wanted to spectate him, right? And we're going to be doing a lot more of this where we know the kind of streamers, or I've heard of the streamers before, and then we watch these guys, because some of these guys are some high ranked, high level players in this game, and they know a lot of tech on specific heroes because they almost have full channels dedicated to them, right? So obviously we're spectating Thor right now, and I have a lot of playtime on Thor. I played Thor the most inside season 2, not so much inside season 3. I'm playing a lot of Hulk right now, but this guy obviously is using a ton of the Awakening rune, which is when he starts throwing out his hammers, right? And that does a ton of damage. It's probably the highest DPS attack in the game because it lasts a pretty long period of time as well. So as you can see, he's taking a lot of damage here, but once again he goes in Awakening rune state and he's then taking out the enemies. He's always in the front line. This is the hammer cancel that I keep talking about. So he kind of does melee and then chucks out his hammer quickly as well. And what's really good about the hammer cancel now, or animation cancel, is that it builds up more of your charge so you can get back into the Awakening state. As you can see, this guy's constantly throwing out attacks, constantly throwing out hammers, and he dashes into the enemies. That was a really good hit, man, at range. Not super easy to land, but he's got good aim. Again, using that, then cancels his Awakening rune, knowing that there's no need for him to be in the state at the moment. And obviously his team is pushing up with him really well as well, so obviously that's part of it. Again, goes in Awakening state to try and take down the shield of the Strange. I don't think he was trying to actually kill him. I think he was just trying to deal damage to his shield, right? So it's already kind of damaged and depleted, and then that way you can kind of play off the back of his shields being down. Again, another hammer cancel in there as well. Once again, he's doing it constantly. He's doing it pretty much every combo he can do it in. And then he's throwing out his damage again. A lot on the Strange here. Gets hit by the Agamotto, so you might die here. Fortunately, he stays alive actually. Attacking the backline with his ultimate. Gets the Luna, which is a great pick, by the way. One pick's solid enough. The enemy team also have a Thor as well, which is obviously something to note. I think their Thor switched from the Hulk, potentially. Again, we're pushing up here. And we've not seen anything absolutely crazy besides this guy keeping his combo states going, right? He's cycling his abilities really well to the point where he does get an extremely solid pick there, actually. Don't know what that Storm was doing all the way by herself. He's got a Thor 1v1 up here. And let's see who comes out on top, right? So we're trying to throw out damage in this off angle, which we've got, and everyone's kind of playing around this off angle when the map breaks. Obviously, it's a good spot to be in. Now he's behind the enemy team, or behind the Thor anyway. And again, he's chucking down damage. Again, cancelling his ability when he knows he doesn't need it, because you can cancel the Awakening state now. So that is a really good quality of life change that I'm glad they added into Thor. He's now popped his kind of bubble, and he's kind of just sitting inside the bubble at the moment. It doesn't heal you or anything, but what it does do is it slows down any enemies that come towards you, right? And then also gives you your hammers back so that you can actually start going into the Awakening rune once again, and that keeps you alive pretty long here. So now he's throwing out the damage, gets some insane picks. This guy's aim is really good, by the way. Like, I don't see him missing a lot of his hammer throws, so he's quickly bursting down enemies. He's trying to take out the Thor while he's in the air there, which you can kill Thor mid-ultimate. It's why everyone's asking for an ultimate cancel. But again, I don't know if that's something we'll get. Now he uses his ultimate on the backline, gets one pick again. Very good ultimate usage when Thor's ultimate is not the best. On to the second round now. If you are enjoying this video, by the way, and you want to see more spectating, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And let's get straight back into watching us play on the defense side now. And we're up against a Captain America. I feel like they've switched tanks like so many times, man. But obviously they can't deal with this guy, and obviously his team are playing really well too. Actually, the Doctor Strange on our team is actually doing a really good job. But regardless, we're kind of holding this off angle here to dive onto the enemy backline. We're trying to kill their supports as we always try to do. Thor's really good at escaping and getting in and out of fights. Obviously, you can dive, kinda, with Thor. He's not exactly a dive hero, but he's got good movement, right? So you can do this. He's on a 1v1 with the Winter Soldier, and once you pop Awakening, no one really beats you in that state when you're Thor, and that's what's really good about him, right? He bursts down damage so well. And as you can see, he's taken out multiple enemies with that Awakening state. Black Panther now, bit of a harder one to kind of try and track, to be honest. Obviously at that point you kind of want to pop your bubble as soon as you can, because that will slow him down from moving, and obviously that's kind of what we did here, right? So again, waiting the off angles, waiting for people to come up to this high ground, which people tend to do. Black Panther's obviously in the enemy team, and they always look to climb up this wall, right? So if you've ever played Black Panther for a short amount of time, you know where he's going to try and come from, or where he's going to try and go, right? And now we're sitting behind the enemy team. We get a couple of picks. Our teammates are doing their bit in damage, but we're going to get the finishes off here because our Punisher's pushing extremely well. And as you can see, Punisher's pushed the enemy players super back, and we've got a mag on the enemy team now. So we've got a mag and a Strange. So they're trying everything they can do to get out of this kind of onslaught that we've got going on right now, but they can't do nothing. And again, Black Panther, we've got a bubble ready to go if he tries to dive on us, but he's not going to. We're holding the point here by ourselves, which we can do because the enemy team are facing the opposite direction. We pop our bubble here for the Black Panther, which is going to dive in, or just in general to keep our hammers going. And we've got our ultimate as well, so we weren't too scared about that there. We're just going to try and see if we get a pick. So we're back in the fight now. Again, popping the Awakening rune and just fire damage and radius. We're going to get hit here with the Agamotto, man. That's a bit unfortunate. As soon as you're in the Awakening state, you do kind of keep a lot of your health because obviously you do have that extra overshield. So that's what's quite good about Thor when he's brawling in the front line. So the enemy team managed to capture the point now, and we're just waiting for our team to kind of gather and group up with us before we could take this fight on. They've managed to cap quite a bit over as well, so it's like a 1.5 they've got here, which is pretty solid. Again, using the Awakening rune, just bursting that damage down. But what you notice is this guy's aim is really, really good, man. He's not missing many shots at all, and that is where that high damage output is coming from. We've got our ultimate ready to go now, so we can team this up if we play it well with the Luna, potentially get a bit of a damage boost from it potentially, or even we have our Strange with the Eye of Agamotto, which we try and do here. We kind of comboed it. Wasn't a perfect combo, but we get a couple of picks off the back of it regardless. Really good ultimate combo there. So Strange went in, then Thor went in, and obviously Thor's damage is not massive on his ultimate, but if you follow up with a couple of shots and your team are following up with damage as well, then you can definitely get some picks off the back of that. And as you can see, man, this guy's just smacking those shots down range. He absolutely hits like a truck, man. Like, I feel like Thor just does so much damage. He's like the DPS of the tank category, to be honest, because this guy just does so much damage in a very brawl and a ranged way. So he's got a lot of versatility as well, plus his movement's really good. One of the best movement tanks in the game. Again, man, just chucking out that damage constantly. He's been in an Awakening state, which feels like forever, man. But the thing is, he keeps getting his hammers back, and he keeps being able to do it constantly because he knows how to combo the hammer throw in there as well, which does not take away from obviously your Awakening rune now. So having that uptime is ridiculous. Again, smacking those shots through this gap in the wall, essentially, or the doorway. And he just keeps doing it, throwing at the hammer again, a bit more range damage just to hold them back. He's not doing anything crazy here, but he's holding the enemy team back. Back in Awakening state once again, trying to keep the damage going. Oh, it's a bit of a boring kind of ish play style, if I'm being honest with you, and that's kind of what they changed, but he's very effective now. Piggybacking off of the ultimate again with our Strange. Trying to get the health pack, or maybe not. Just kind of holding this off angle instead. On high ground now, I don't know what we're waiting for exactly. Maybe waiting for our team to regroup with us a little bit. The enemy team's capping the point at this minute, which they do cap. Now, obviously, there's no point in dying here because they're in a good spot behind the enemy team. They don't even know he's there, which is kind of cool. Magneto might be following him, which he is. And in a brawl, Thor wins basically, right? The damage output of Thor is crazy, but obviously Mag's getting help from his team and body blocked him very well there. So we're back now again, poking that damage down range. This is basically his constant bread and butter stuff, man. He always does this. Then he throws his hammer throw and he gets his awakening rune all over again. Super quick way to get it. And it's just constant all the time, man. Basically constant damage. Gets a pick and then carries on, man. The more you use your dash ability, the less you can kind of combo your other things off the back of it. So you kind of don't really want to be dashing too much unless you're trying to get in and out of fights, obviously, right? But the less you use the dash, the more you can just kind of keep going with the awakening combos. So awakening rune, throw the hammers out, then do your hammer throw with your melee, then reset, do the awakening rune all over again, right? That is just crazy combos that you can do there. Picking off this Winter Soldier, and again, as you can see, man, this guy's hitting shots. That is the big deal in other people playing Thor and this guy playing Thor, is that he actually hits those shots. Good ultimate placement here now. Gets tons of picks. Obviously there were assist picks, but regardless, picks nonetheless. Wipe the whole entire enemy team essentially. So there we have it. This is our guy, Mjolnir's dad, who goes 36-4 and he does 24k damage as Thor, and obviously gets quite a lot of final hits as well. Now this guy is a super solid Thor player. I'll leave a link to their Twitch streams and things like that down in the comments below, but it's good to see how people have progressed with their heroes and their mains from season 0 all the way up to season 3. People are learning new things about their heroes every single day. But if you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.